If you are struggling to gain followers, increase your engagement, or simply just want to take your profile to the next level on Instagram, then today's video is for you. Number one, stop focusing on irrelevant hashtags. So back in the day, we used to use hashtags on Instagram to target our followers. We used to put in the hashtags that we wanted to target our followers with. So hashtags that possibly they were using, thinking that they were checking those hashtags to find our content. Now, however, Instagram has started rolling out more of an SEO type of platform where keywords are more essential than anything else. An example of this is that I share Instagram tips on Instagram. So on every single post that I create and I post, I use the hashtag Instagram tip or Instagram tips, sometimes both of them. So that would be a niche industry hashtag that I am using on my profile, therefore I use it on all of the content. The second thing that you should never do on Instagram is buy followers or buy engagement. When you have a post and the post does well, that's called momentum. So let's say today's post does extremely well. It brings in followers, it brings in engagement. Well, then tomorrow's post, the algorithm is going to look at that and say, well, this person was really popular yesterday. Let me show their post to a bunch of people again today and see if they get as much engagement and as many followers as they did yesterday. When you buy followers or you buy engagement, this is a false sense of engagement. This is a false sense of followers. All the algorithm sees is that you gained followers or you gained engagement. The algorithms are going to show your content to more people, hoping that more people follow you, that more people engage with you. Now, what happens is when they don't follow you, when they don't engage with you, that posts are going to flop. They're not going to bring in that level of engagement and that level of followers. Then the algorithm says, well, they must have just lost their touch. They're not doing as well as they were yesterday or a few days ago. The third thing that you need to stop doing on Instagram, posting low quality content that people could have Googled. If you want to make a difference and for people to follow you and want to work with you, then you need to show how you are different, how you differentiate yourself from everybody else doing what you are doing. How do you do this? With your own stories, with your own opinions, with your own perspectives. People can feel that. People know when you have put yourself into your content because we can sense it. We know. You know when somebody's telling you something, when somebody's telling you a story, you know whether or not it really affects them or if they're just telling the same story that they've told 100,000 times and they don't really care about it anymore. The fourth thing that you definitely want to stop doing is to ignore your audience. Now, you may see larger creators who will post, receive comments, and never reply to them. And you may think, well, if they can do it, so can I. The thing is that you don't see what they did to get to that point where they could do that. They could have a podcast. They could have a book that they've released. They could be on YouTube, pushing everybody back to Instagram, and that's why they have that amount of followers. But I can guarantee you their engagement rate is low, and at some point they will run into problems on Instagram if they don't continue with the level of engagement and keeping up with their followers. Make sure that you reply to every comment that you receive. And the fifth thing that you need to stop doing, posting inconsistently. Let's say you post every day for a month. People become dependent on seeing your content and then you stop. People will forget about you. It's important to stay top of mind as a business. Another thing that I see people do with inconsistent posting is they will think of all these ideas and they will post 2 to 3 posts a day, every other day, and they're not posting in between. When you post more often like that throughout the day, it can have the opposite effect of what you want. The algorithm is going to show content to people based on relationships, based on their previous interests. So if you post a piece of content in the morning and I respond to it, then when you post again at noon, it's going to show me your content again. And when you post again at 5, it's going to show me your content again. Well, if I'm only jumping on the platform 2 or 3 times a day and all I see, or the first thing I see every time is a post from you, I'm gonna hop off of Instagram. I'm not really going to stay on the platform if I can't see all of my friends and all of the other people that are posting. So that's just basically how the algorithm works. Understanding that, play within the rules and post once a day. That is my optimal amount of time.